You think you've worked dirty jobs? Try hunting down Nazis in South America. That's exactly what the Mossad had to do. Their target? Adolf Eichmann, one of the key architects of the Holocaust. This guy was directly responsible for the deportation and extermination of millions of Jews during World War II. Eichmann was a high-ranking SS officer. He was a logistics guy, but instead of moving supplies, he moved human beings. He was a cold, calculating bureaucrat. He made sure the Nazi death machine ran on time. After the war, Eichmann knew he was in deep trouble. The Allies wanted him bad, so, like many Nazis, he went into hiding. He slipped through the cracks and disappeared. He became a ghost. But some ghosts are destined to be found, and the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, was determined to find this one. They were not going to let this guy escape justice. They were coming for him. Eichmann's escape was like something out of a spy movie. He ditched the Nazi uniform and adopted the alias Ricardo Klement. He blended in with other Germans who had fled to Argentina. They were looking for a fresh start, a chance to escape their past. Eichmann settled in Buenos Aires. He lived a simple life with his wife and kids. He worked in a factory, pretending to be just another immigrant trying to make ends meet. Can you imagine the nerve of this guy? He thought he was safe in Argentina. The government there was sympathetic to Nazis. They turned a blind eye to war criminals seeking refuge. But Eichmann underestimated one thing, the long arm of justice. And the Mossad. They never forgot about Eichmann. They were like bloodhounds on a scent. They followed every lead, every whisper, every rumor. They were determined to find him no matter how long it took. Finding Eichmann was no easy task. It took years of painstaking work. The Mossad relied on a network of informants. These were people who risked their lives to bring Nazis to justice. They were motivated by a thirst for justice. One crucial tip came from a German prosecutor named Fritz Bauer. He had received a letter from a man in Argentina. The man claimed his daughter was dating a young man who boasted about his father being a Nazi war criminal. The name? Ricardo Klement. The Mossad sent a team to Buenos Aires. They had to be careful. Eichmann might have had protectors, or he might have been armed. These guys were taking their lives in their hands, but they knew the risks. They were on a mission. They staked out Eichmann's house. They watched his every move. They needed to be absolutely sure it was him. They couldn't afford to make a mistake. The world was watching. Section 4. The Hunters Close In. The Mossad agents watched Eichmann for days. They took pictures, listened to his conversations, and analyzed his every move. They were like ghosts, always present but never seen. Their training kicked in. They were pros. Finally, they were certain. Ricardo Klement was Adolf Eichmann. The monster had a face again. And now the Mossad had to figure out how to get him out of Argentina and back to Israel to face justice. This was not going to be easy. Argentina was a sovereign nation. They couldn't just waltz in and grab him. They needed a plan, and it had to be flawless. They decided to snatch Eichmann off the street. They'd drug him, smuggle him onto an El Al flight, and fly him to Israel before anyone knew what hit them. It was a risky plan, but it was their best shot. Section 5. Operation Eichmann, a daring capture. On May 11, 1960, the Mossad put their plan into action. As Eichmann got off a bus near his home, a team of agents grabbed him. They wrestled him into a waiting car, a struggle that could have blown their cover. Eichmann, caught completely off guard, was quickly subdued. They smuggled him to a safe house where they kept him under constant guard. The clock was ticking. 9 days later, disguised as an El Al crew member, Eichmann was bundled onto a plane bound for Israel. The tension on that flight must have been unbelievable. When the plane landed in Israel, the news broke. Adolf Eichmann, the architect of the Holocaust, had been captured. The world was in shock. Section 6. Justice Served. Eichmann's trial was a landmark event. It was the first time the horrors of the Holocaust were broadcast to the world. Survivors of the camps took the stand and told their stories. Their testimonies were heartbreaking. Eichmann, meanwhile, showed no remorse. He claimed he was just following orders, a defense that fell on deaf ears. The evidence against him was overwhelming. On December 15, 1961, Eichmann was found guilty of crimes against humanity. He was sentenced to death. On May 31, 1962, he was hanged at a prison near Tel Aviv. Eichmann's capture and trial sent a powerful message. You can run, but you can't hide from justice. The Mossad's daring operation served as a reminder that the pursuit of justice knows no bounds. It was a victory for the victims of the Holocaust, and a warning to would-be perpetrators of genocide. Right, listen up, because this is a story about espionage. We're talking about Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. They're like the quiet kid in the back of the classroom, the one you never notice until they do something astonishing. Mossad's job is to protect Israel, and they're very good at it. They gather intel, they neutralize threats, and sometimes they pull off operations so daring you wouldn't believe it if it weren't true. One such operation was Operation Diamond. This was a heist, a proper cloak and dagger affair, all to get their hands on something very special, a Soviet-made MiG-21 fighter jet. Picture this, 1966, the Cold War is raging, the Middle East is a powder keg, Israel, surrounded by hostile neighbors, needs every edge it can get. Enter the MiG-21, the hottest fighter jet in the Soviet arsenal. Fast, agile, deadly. The Egyptians have them, the Syrians have them, Israel, not a chance. The MiG-21 was a game changer. Israel needed to know its secrets. How did it perform? What were its weaknesses? They needed to get their hands on one, but how? That's where Operation Diamond comes in. Mossad hatched a plan, audacious and risky, to convince an Iraqi pilot to defect, bringing his MiG-21 with him. The MiG-21 was a very big deal. It was the most advanced fighter jet of its time, and it was being used by many countries that were, shall we say, not very friendly towards Israel. For Israel, getting hold of a MiG-21 wasn't just about adding a shiny new toy to their collection, it was about survival. Imagine trying to fight a car like a Ferrari when all you've got is a beaten-up old Mini. That's what it was like for Israeli pilots facing off against MiG-21s. They needed to know the enemy, inside and out. They needed to train against it, to exploit its weaknesses. The MiG-21 was the key, and Mossad was going to get it. Section 4, the defection, a calculated gamble. Mossad identified their target, an Iraqi Christian named Munir Redfa. He was a pilot, disillusioned with the Iraqi regime. This was their in. They made contact with Redfa, offering him a new life in Israel for him and his family. But could they convince him to betray his country? Could they guarantee his safety? Redfa wasn't an idiot. He knew the risks. He'd be branded a traitor, hunted by the Iraqis. But Mossad played their hand masterfully. They appealed to his sense of justice, his desire for a better life. They promised him safety, a new identity, a future for his children. It was a gamble, but one they had to take. Section 5, Challenges and Triumphs. The flight to freedom. Getting Redfa out was no walk in the park. They couldn't just stroll into Iraq and whisk him away. This was a clandestine operation, every step planned with meticulous detail. False identities, secret communications, everything had to be perfect. One wrong move, and it was all over. On August 16, 1966, Redfa made his move. He took off in his MiG-21, ostensibly on a training mission. But instead of sticking to the script, he turned south, towards Israel. The Israelis scrambled jets to intercept him, not as enemies, but as escorts. Redfa landed his MiG-21 safely at an Israeli airbase, his defection a success. Section 6, Impact and Legacy, a turning point. Operation Diamond was a major coup for Israel. With the MiG-21 in their hands, they could finally study their adversary's weapon. They could train their pilots, develop counter-tactics. The playing field was leveled. The defection of Munir Redfa sent shockwaves through the Arab world. It was a propaganda victory for Israel, and a blow to the prestige of the Soviet Union. More importantly, it gave Israel a crucial advantage in the skies, an advantage that would prove decisive in future conflicts. Operation Diamond was a testament to Mossad's cunning, a high-stakes gamble that paid off handsomely, and a reminder that in the world of espionage, sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. The Mossad, a name whispered in hushed tones, often evoking a sense of awe and mystery, a beacon of mystery and intrigue shrouded in secrecy. Formed in 1949, Israel's intelligence agency operates in the shadows, protecting the nation from unseen threats and adversaries. This elite organization specializes in intelligence gathering, covert operations, and counter-terrorism, often working behind enemy lines. Its agents, highly trained and fiercely dedicated, work tirelessly to safeguard Israel's security, employing cutting-edge technology and innovative tactics. The Mossad's history is etched with daring missions and high-stakes gambles, showcasing their unparalleled expertise. From hunting down Nazi war criminals to thwarting terrorist plots, their actions resonate on the world stage, leaving an indelible mark. Yet, beyond the cloak and dagger operations lies a deep-rooted commitment to the Jewish people, a mission that transcends mere espionage. This commitment shone brightly during two extraordinary missions, Operation Moses and Operation Solomon, which were monumental in scope and impact. These daring rescues, shrouded in secrecy, airlifted thousands of Ethiopian Jews to safety, etching a poignant chapter in the annals of humanitarian aid and rescue missions. The Mossad's role in these operations transcended traditional intelligence work, embodying a spirit of compassion and solidarity. It became a beacon of hope, a lifeline for a community facing persecution and despair, offering a new beginning. These missions exemplified the organization's unwavering dedication to the Jewish people, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope can emerge from the shadows, illuminating the path forward. In the remote highlands of Ethiopia, a resilient community endured, their faith deeply rooted in ancient Jewish traditions passed down through generations. The Beta Israel, Hebrew for House of Israel, claimed a lineage tracing back to the biblical figures of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, a heritage they cherished and preserved. For centuries they held on to their unique identity, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of rural Ethiopia, maintaining their customs and religious practices amidst the changing times. The 1980s brought a tide of turmoil, a period marked by severe challenges and upheaval. Famine gripped the Horn of Africa, casting a long shadow over the region, leading to widespread suffering and despair. In Ethiopia, a brutal civil war raged, tearing the nation apart and leaving communities in ruins. The Beta Israel, caught in the crossfire, faced unimaginable hardship, their lives upended by the relentless conflict. Persecution intensified, their safety hanging by a thread as they became targets of violence and discrimination. Many fled, seeking refuge in neighboring Sudan, hoping to find safety and a chance to rebuild their lives. They journeyed on foot, braving harsh terrain and perilous conditions, driven by the hope of survival. The journey was fraught with danger, with every step a test of their endurance and willpower. Many perished along the way, succumbing to hunger, disease, or violence, their dreams of safety cut tragically short. Those who reached Sudan found themselves living in makeshift camps, conditions squalid and hope dwindling as days turned into months. Word of their plight reached Israel, igniting a moral imperative and a call to action. The plight of the Beta Israel resonated deeply with the Israeli people, echoing their own history of persecution and displacement, stirring a profound sense of empathy and solidarity. A daring plan began to take shape, a clandestine operation to bring the Ethiopian Jews home to Israel, a mission fueled by hope and determination. In 1984, under a veil of secrecy, Operation Moses swung into action, a mission shrouded in mystery and danger. This covert operation, a collaboration between the Mossad and international partners, aimed to airlift Ethiopian Jews from Sudan to Israel. The challenges were immense and the stakes were incredibly high. Sudan, officially hostile to Israel, presented a dangerous backdrop for the operation, making every step a potential risk. Secrecy was paramount, every move cloaked in shadows, every whisper a potential threat. The Mossad, leveraging its global network, established a covert air bridge, a lifeline for those in desperate need. Charter planes disguised as tourist carriers touched down in Sudan under the cover of darkness, their true mission hidden from prying eyes. Local contacts, working at great personal risk, guided the refugees to rendezvous points, their identities shrouded in secrecy, their courage unwavering. The airlifts were fraught with danger, each flight a perilous journey through hostile skies. Every flight carried the weight of countless lives, the risk of discovery ever present, the hope of a new beginning palpable. Yet, night after night the planes took off, carrying hundreds of Ethiopian Jews towards a new life, a new hope. The operation, however, was short-lived, its secrecy compromised. News leaked, sparking international attention and controversy. Arab nations, outraged by the airlifts, pressured Sudan to halt the operation, their diplomatic weight bearing down. In 1985, after months of daring rescues, Operation Moses came to an abrupt end, its mission incomplete. Thousands had been airlifted to Israel, but thousands more remained stranded in Sudan, their fate uncertain, their dreams deferred. The State of Israel, founded in 1948, has faced constant threats to its security. Tasked with protecting its citizens from these threats is the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. The Mossad operates in the shadows, gathering intelligence and conducting covert operations around the globe. Its agents are renowned for their skill, determination, and unwavering commitment to safeguarding Israel. Since its inception, the Mossad has been involved in numerous daring missions, but few are as well known or impactful as Operation Spring of Youth. The 1972 Munich Olympics were meant to be a celebration of international peace and athleticism. This joyous atmosphere was shattered when Palestinian terrorists affiliated with the Black September group stormed the Olympic Village, taking 11 Israeli athletes and coaches hostage. The world watched in horror as the hostage crisis unfolded. Desperate negotiations failed, and the siege culminated in a bloodbath at the Munich airport, leaving all 11 hostages dead. The Munich massacre sent shockwaves through Israel and the world. It was a stark reminder of the hatred and violence that threatened Israel's existence. The Israeli government vowed to hunt down those responsible and bring them to justice, no matter how long it took. This mission of retribution fell upon the shoulders of the Mossad. Operation Spring of Youth was the code name given to the Mossad's operation to target the masterminds behind the Munich massacre. The operation's objective was twofold: to eliminate those directly responsible for planning and executing the Munich attack, and to deliver a powerful message that Israel would not tolerate terrorism against its people. Planning for the operation began immediately after the Munich massacre. Prime Minister Golda Meir authorized the Mossad to track down and eliminate those responsible. The architects of terror, Black September's leadership. The Mossad meticulously identified the key figures in Black September who were responsible for the Munich attack. At the top of the list were individuals like Ali Hassan Salameh, the head of Force 17 and a senior member of the PLO, believed to have played a crucial role in planning the Munich operation. Another target was Mohammed Boudia, a Black September operative in Paris. The Mossad believed he played a significant role in planning and facilitating the Munich massacre. These individuals were experienced terrorists, often operating under aliases and constantly on the move, making them difficult to track. The Mossad embarked on a global manhunt using its vast network of informants and agents to locate their targets. The raid striking at the heart of Black September. On the night of April 9, 1973, Israeli commandos, supported by Mossad agents, launched simultaneous raids on multiple targets in Beirut, Lebanon. Disguised as tourists and couples, the commandos infiltrated the city, their movements coordinated with precision. One team stormed an apartment building, eliminating Mohammed Youssef Najjar, Kamal Adwan, and Kamal Nasser, all high-ranking PLO members associated with Black September. Another team targeted a 6-story apartment building, hoping to capture or kill the PLO's second-in-command, Salah Khalaf. While he escaped, the commandos killed several of his guards and destroyed the building. The operation was a success. The Mossad had successfully struck at the heart of Black September, eliminating several key figures involved in the Munich massacre. The element of surprise and the precision with which the operation was executed demonstrated Israel's resolve and the Mossad's capabilities. Legacy of Spring of Youth, a turning point in counterterrorism. Operation Spring of Youth was a pivotal moment in Israel's fight against terrorism. It demonstrated to the world that Israel would not hesitate to take decisive action to protect its citizens, even if it meant carrying out operations on foreign soil. The operation also marked a shift in Israel's counterterrorism strategy, adopting a more proactive approach to deter future attacks. Shadow warfare. An introduction to Mossad and Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. The world of espionage is shrouded in secrecy, a realm where shadows dance and whispers hold the weight of truth. At its heart operate agencies like Mossad, Israel's Institute for Intelligence and Special Operations. Tasked with protecting Israel's national security, Mossad operates in the gray areas of international affairs, often employing lethal force. One such operation, the assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, brought the shadowy world of espionage into the harsh light of global scrutiny. Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, a senior Hamas commander, was no stranger to clandestine operations. A founding member of the Palestinian militant group's military wing, al-Mabhouh was suspected of involvement in the kidnapping and killing of 2 Israeli soldiers in 1989. His activities, deemed a direct threat to Israel's security, placed him squarely in Mossad's crosshairs. The assassination of al-Mabhouh, a meticulously planned and executed operation, provides a chilling glimpse into the world of targeted killings and the lengths to which nations will go to neutralize perceived threats. This complex operation, with its intricate web of espionage tactics and international implications, continues to generate debate and analysis within intelligence communities worldwide. Operation Assassination, the objective to eliminate a Hamas commander. The objective of the operation was clear: eliminate Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. Israel considered him a high-value target, a key figure in Hamas's militant infrastructure. Al-Mabhouh's alleged role in arms smuggling, particularly his efforts to procure weapons from Iran, posed a significant threat to Israel's security apparatus. Neutralizing al-Mabhouh was deemed essential to disrupting Hamas's operational capabilities and deterring future attacks. The operation, authorized at the highest levels of the Israeli government, was a calculated move in the ongoing shadow war between Israel and Hamas. Dubai Infiltration, a chronicle of the assassination. On January 19, 2010, Mahmoud al-Mabhouh arrived in Dubai, a bustling hub of international travel. Unbeknownst to him, a Mossad team had already infiltrated the city, meticulously surveilling his every move. They were prepared to act the moment an opportunity presented itself. On January 20th, al-Mabhouh checked into a hotel room, unaware that he had walked into a carefully laid trap. As he moved about the city, the Mossad team maintained constant surveillance, tracking his every step. Finally, with al-Mabhouh alone in his hotel room, the team made their move. The assassination was swift and silent, leaving no trace of the perpetrators. The art of espionage, fake passports, and covert tactics. The Mossad operation in Dubai was a masterclass in espionage tradecraft. The team employed a range of sophisticated tactics, including the use of fake passports, disguises, and advanced surveillance technology. The agents seamlessly blended into the background, assuming the identities of tourists and business people. Their ability to operate undetected in a foreign country, evading the scrutiny of local authorities and intelligence agencies, highlighted Mossad's capabilities and the lengths to which it would go to achieve its objectives. The use of fake passports, while effective, sparked international controversy and diplomatic tensions. Global repercussions, the aftermath, and international response. The assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh sent shockwaves through the intelligence community and ignited a firestorm of international condemnation. Dubai authorities, outraged by the brazen violation of their sovereignty, launched a full-scale investigation. Security camera footage released to the public revealed the identities of the suspected Mossad agents. The use of fake passports, particularly those belonging to citizens of allied nations, strained diplomatic relations and led to the expulsion of several Israeli diplomats. Conclusion: legacy of a targeted killing. The assassination of Mahmoud al-Mabhouh stands as a stark example of the complexities of modern espionage. While successful in eliminating a high-value target, the operation exposed the operational methods of one of the world's most secretive intelligence agencies. The incident raised questions about state-sponsored assassinations, the use of deception, and the delicate balance between national security and international law. The legacy of the Dubai operation continues to shape the world of espionage, serving as both a cautionary tale and a testament to the shadowy world of intelligence warfare. He was a phantom, a shadow that moved silently through the chaos. A whisper in the alleys of Beirut, a name that echoed in the dark corners of the city. Imad Mughniya, the name sent shivers down the spines of intelligence agencies worldwide. A figure of dread and mystery. He was the mastermind behind some of the deadliest terror attacks in history, orchestrating chaos with precision. His ability to evade capture earned him a mythical status, a legend among both allies and enemies. To Israel, he was public enemy number one, a constant threat that loomed large. To his followers, he was a hero, a symbol of resistance and defiance against the West. Mughniya was the architect of carnage, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. The 1983 Beirut barracks bombings, a devastating attack that shook the world, the hijacking of TWA Flight 847, a bold move that captured global attention, the kidnapping of Westerners in Lebanon. His fingerprints were everywhere, a signature of terror. He operated in the shadows, a master of disguise and deception, always staying one step ahead. But for those hunting him, the question was not if, but when. The clock was ticking and time was running out. His demise would be a major victory in the ongoing war against terror, a significant blow to his network. But the path to reaching him was fraught with danger. A perilous journey through a web of deceit. He was a ghost, always one step ahead, slipping through the fingers of those who pursued him. Yet, even ghosts leave footprints, traces that can be followed by the determined. And the world's intelligence agencies were determined to follow them, no matter where they led, in a relentless pursuit of justice. Born in the slums of Beirut, a city marred by conflict and poverty, Mougnieh's journey was paved with violence and turmoil from the very beginning. As a teenager, he joined the Palestinian Liberation Organization, seeking a purpose amidst the chaos. He honed his skills in the brutal training camps of Lebanon, where survival was a daily battle. His tactical genius quickly became evident, and he rose through the ranks with remarkable speed. When Israel invaded Lebanon in 1982, Mougnieh found his true calling in the chaos of war. He co-founded Hezbollah, a Shia militia group backed by Iran, dedicated to resisting Israeli occupation. His mission was clear and unwavering: to drive Israel out of Lebanon at any cost. He orchestrated a series of devastating attacks against Israeli and Western targets, leaving a trail of destruction. His ruthlessness knew no bounds, and his reputation as a fearsome leader grew. Within Hezbollah, he became a legend, revered as a cunning strategist and a fearless leader. He was their protector, their avenger, the one they looked up to in times of crisis. He instilled fear in his enemies and commanded unwavering loyalty from his followers, a rare combination. He was the embodiment of terror, a shadowy figure who operated with impunity and precision. His reach extended far beyond the Middle East, influencing terror networks worldwide. He was linked to terror cells across the globe, a phantom menace that haunted intelligence agencies and governments alike. He was a master of asymmetrical warfare, striking at the heart of his enemies and disappearing into the shadows, leaving chaos in his wake. In the aftermath of 9/11, the United States and Israel found common ground, eliminating Imad Mougnieh, a notorious figure responsible for numerous attacks. The CIA and Mossad, two of the world's most formidable intelligence agencies, forged a secret pact, combining their resources and expertise. Their target, the elusive mastermind of Hezbollah. The stakes were incredibly high, with global security hanging in the balance. Mougnieh was a valuable asset to Iran, a key player in their regional ambitions, and a symbol of their influence. His death would be a significant blow to their network, disrupting their operations and sending a strong message. But finding him was like searching for a needle in a haystack, a nearly impossible task. He was a master of disguise, a phantom who moved silently through the shadows, always one step ahead. Months of meticulous planning ensued, with every detail scrutinized and every possibility considered. The CIA provided crucial intelligence, tracking Mougnieh's movements across the Middle East, using advanced technology and human assets. Mossad agents infiltrated his network, gathering information about his routines and habits, piecing together his life. They were closing in, the net tightening around their prey, with each day bringing them closer. The operation was fraught with risk. Every move calculated, every decision critical. One wrong move, one loose end could jeopardize everything, unraveling months of work. The agents involved knew the danger they faced, the high stakes of their mission, but they were driven by a singular purpose: to bring a mass murderer to justice, to make the world a safer place. On a cool February night in Damascus, the trap was set. Mougnieh, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows, approached his parked SUV. Years of meticulous planning, of tireless pursuit, came down to this moment. A deafening explosion ripped through the quiet street. The SUV, packed with explosives, was instantly engulfed in flames. The blast shook the city, sending shockwaves of fear and confusion. Witnesses described a scene of chaos, of debris raining down from the sky. Mougnieh, the ghost of Beirut, was gone. The operation, a testament to the cooperation between the CIA and Mossad, was a success. But it came at a price. The assassination sent shockwaves across the Middle East. Hezbollah, reeling from the loss of their commander, vowed revenge. The world held its breath, bracing for the inevitable retaliation. The year was 1969. The sands of the Sinai Peninsula simmered with tension. The war of attrition raged between Israel and Egypt. It was a conflict fought in the shadows, a deadly dance of sabotage and surprise attacks. Both nations were locked in a struggle for dominance. The stakes were incredibly high. Every move could tip the balance of power in the volatile Middle East. For Israel, maintaining air superiority was paramount. Their very survival depended on it, but Egypt had a secret weapon: P-12 radar systems supplied by the Soviets. These radar installations, strategically placed along the Suez Canal, gave Egypt a crucial advantage: the ability to detect and counter Israeli air raids. Something had to be done. The P-12 radar systems were formidable. They had an impressive range, capable of detecting aircraft hundreds of kilometers away. This early warning system gave Egypt the ability to scramble its air force in time to intercept Israeli jets. This posed a significant threat to Israel's air superiority. Israel needed to blind this electronic eye. They needed to operate swiftly and decisively. The task fell to the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, known for its daring covert operations. They would plan and execute a mission to neutralize these radar systems. The mission was fraught with danger, a high-stakes gamble in the heart of enemy territory. The Mossad assembled a team of elite commandos from the Sayeret Matkal, Israel's top special forces unit. This unit was renowned for its rigorous training and unwavering courage. These were Israel's best, hand-picked for their skills and experience. They had one mission: infiltrate Green Island, a heavily fortified Egyptian base in the Gulf of Suez, and destroy the P-12 radar station. The operation, codenamed Bulma 6, was audacious. It involved meticulous planning and coordination. The Mossad gathered intelligence, mapping the island's defenses and the radar station's layout. Every detail, every possible contingency was scrutinized. The commandos trained relentlessly, rehearsing every step of the mission, preparing for any eventuality. Failure was not an option. Lives and the fate of a nation hung in the balance. Section 4. Storming the island. On the night of July 19, 1969, under the cover of darkness, the Israeli commandos, supported by naval and air units, approached Green Island. The tension was palpable. The fate of the mission and the lives of the commandos rested on stealth and precision. They landed on the island undetected, moving silently like phantoms through the night. They encountered and neutralized Egyptian patrols, their movement swift and deadly. They reached the radar station, a beacon of technology in the darkness. The commandos, working with precision, planted explosives on the radar system. The island was about to be shaken to its core. Section 5. Victory in the dark. The detonation was deafening. A blinding flash illuminated the night sky, followed by a shockwave that rippled through the island. The P-12 radar station, once a symbol of Egyptian vigilance, was reduced to rubble. The commandos, their objective achieved, melted back into the darkness, leaving behind a scene of chaos and destruction. Operation Bulma 6 was a resounding success. The mission sent shockwaves through the Egyptian military. Their early warning system had been breached. The operation showcased the Mossad's cunning and the Israeli military's operational daring. Most importantly, it provided Israel with a crucial advantage in the ongoing war of attrition. Section 6. Echoes of a silent raid. The impact of Operation Bulma 6 resonated far beyond the immediate military objective. The raid exposed vulnerabilities in Egypt's defenses, forcing them to reassess their strategy. It emboldened Israel, demonstrating their capacity to strike deep within enemy territory. The operation served as a stark reminder of the volatile dynamics in the region. Operation Bulma 6 remains a testament to the courage and ingenuity of the Mossad and the Israeli Defense Forces. It serves as a reminder of the perilous path to peace in the Middle East, a region forever marked by conflict and shadowed by the specter of war. The year is 1979. A specter haunts the Middle East. Its name, Iraq. Iraq's ambition for nuclear power masks a darker truth: the pursuit of a weapon of unimaginable destruction. Israel, never again to be a lamb led to slaughter, cannot stand idly by. Mossad, its intelligence arm, receives a chilling directive: sabotage Iraq at all costs. Operation Sphinx is born. The stakes could not be higher. Failure means an atomic sword hanging over Israel's head. Success demands operating in absolute secrecy in the heart of a hostile nation. The very existence of the operation is a secret known only to a select few. The agents tasked with this mission carry the weight of a nation on their shoulders. Information is the lifeblood of espionage. Mossad agents operating under deep cover infiltrate Iraqi networks. They pose as businessmen, tourists, even laborers, their true identities hidden beneath layers of deception. Every whisper, every stolen document, every snatched conversation brings them closer to the heart of the Iraqi nuclear program. The agents move like phantoms, their actions leaving no trace. They gather intelligence on the reactor's design, its construction schedule, the identities of key personnel. Each piece of information is a brick in the wall of understanding, a step closer to formulating a plan. The tension mounts with each passing day, the shadow of Osirak looming ever larger. Osirak is not solely an Iraqi endeavor. France, eager for lucrative contracts, provides the technology and expertise. The reactor core, the heart of the beast, is being built on French soil. Mossad's reach must extend beyond the Middle East, into the heart of Europe. The agents tasked with this leg of the operation face a different kind of danger. They are alone, operating in a foreign land, their every move scrutinized. One wrong step, one slip-up, and their cover is blown. The pressure is immense, but they persevere. They infiltrate French companies, they cultivate informants, they gather intelligence on the reactor components, their movements, their vulnerabilities. Section 4, Sabotage in the Shadows. The time for intelligence gathering is over. The moment for action has arrived. Small teams of Mossad agents, masters of stealth and sabotage, are dispatched to France. Their targets, the very components that will form the heart of Osirak. Their mission: delay, disrupt, and if possible, destroy. They work under the cover of darkness, their movements precise, their actions leaving no room for error. Explosives are planted, timed to detonate at the optimal moment. Critical components are tampered with, rendered useless with surgical precision. The sabotage is a masterpiece of covert operations, a testament to the skill and daring of the Mossad agents. Section 5. Operation Opera, a thunderous blow, June 7, 1981. The world watches in astonishment as Israeli F-16 fighter jets streak across the sky, their target, the Osirak reactor. Operation Opera, the culmination of years of planning and preparation, unfolds with breathtaking speed and precision. The bombs find their marks, reducing the reactor to rubble. The world cries foul, but in Israel there is quiet satisfaction. Operation Opera is a gamble, a calculated risk to avert a far greater danger. It is a testament to Israel's unwavering commitment to its own survival, a stark reminder that it will not hesitate to act when its very existence is threatened. The attack sets back Iraq's nuclear program by years, but it also ignites a firestorm of controversy. Section 6. The Ghost of Osirak. In the aftermath of Operation Opera, the world grapples with the implications of Israel's actions. Was it a justified act of self-defense or a reckless act of aggression? The debate rages on, but one thing is certain: the specter of Osirak continues to haunt the Middle East. It serves as a stark reminder of the volatile nature of the region, the ever-present threat of nuclear proliferation, and the lengths to which nations will go to protect their interests. Operation Sphinx, a triumph of intelligence gathering, sabotage, and military might, remains etched in the annals of espionage history. It is a testament to the bravery and ingenuity of the Mossad agents who risked their lives to protect their nation from an existential threat. The ghost of Osirak continues to loom, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the high price of security. The Phantom Menace: Mossad's Operation Harpoon, the 1980s. A time of Cold War tensions where the world was divided into two opposing camps. But in the shadows another war raged, a war against terror that was just as deadly and complex. Israel's intelligence agency Mossad found itself on the front lines of this hidden battle. Their enemy terrorist groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. Their weapon Operation Harpoon, a mission shrouded in secrecy. This top-secret operation had one goal: cripple terrorist financing and disrupt their operations. Mossad agents were about to dive into a world of shell corporations, illicit transactions, and shadowy figures, all while staying under the radar. Operation Harpoon was a radical departure from traditional espionage methods. Instead of focusing on bombs and bullets, Mossad would target the lifeblood of terror money, the fuel that kept these organizations running. They understood that without funds, these organizations would crumble, their operations grinding to a halt. But infiltrating these intricate financial networks would be like navigating a minefield in the dark, requiring precision, patience, and unparalleled skill. The money trail funding terror in the shadows. Terrorist groups like Hezbollah and Hamas thrived on a shadowy river of money, a lifeline that kept their operations running smoothly. Donations from state sponsors, often disguised as charitable contributions, flowed into their coffers, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine aid and malicious intent. Criminal enterprises such as drug trafficking and extortion provided another stream of income, further bolstering their financial strength. These funds were then laundered through a complex web of shell companies and offshore accounts, making them nearly impossible to trace and adding layers of complexity to their financial networks. Mossad agents knew that to dismantle these networks, they had to understand them deeply and thoroughly. They painstakingly tracked the flow of money, piecing together fragments of information like a giant jigsaw puzzle, each piece revealing more about the intricate web. They recruited informants, planted moles, and intercepted communications, slowly building a comprehensive picture of their targets' financial operations, one step at a time. Digital dragnets and phantom hackers. The rise of computers offered Mossad a new weapon: cyber warfare. Operation Harpoon embraced this emerging technology, developing sophisticated hacking tools and techniques. Mossad agents infiltrated the computer systems of banks, financial institutions, and even terrorist groups themselves. They siphoned off funds, manipulated transactions, and exposed hidden accounts. Millions of dollars vanished from terrorist coffers overnight, leaving their leaders scrambling for answers. The digital realm became a battlefield where fortunes were won and lost at the stroke of a key. Section 4. The sting-crushing Hezbollah's arms deals. One of Operation Harpoon's most audacious operations targeted Hezbollah's arms procurement network. Posing as arms dealers, Mossad agents infiltrated the organization, offering them a lucrative deal. Hezbollah, desperate for weapons, fell for the trap. They transferred millions of dollars into an account controlled by Mossad. The moment the funds cleared, Mossad froze the account, seizing the money and dealing a major blow to Hezbollah's ability to wage war.
Breaking news.
Section 5. The aftermath. A crushing blow to terror. Operation Harpoon was a resounding success, a meticulously planned strike that hit its mark with precision. By crippling the financial networks of terrorist organizations, Mossad significantly disrupted their ability to operate. Recruitment drives faltered, training camps were closed, and attacks were thwarted. The ripple effects were felt far and wide. The flow of money, the lifeblood of terror, had been staunched. Without funds, their operations ground to a halt, but Mossad's victory came at a cost. The agents faced immense pressure and danger. The operation remained shrouded in secrecy, its details hidden from the public eye. Its successes never officially acknowledged, the true extent of their achievements known only to a few. The agents involved operated in the shadows, their identities concealed, their sacrifices unknown to the world they protected, their bravery uncelebrated. Yet their impact was profound, ensuring safety and security for countless lives. Section 6. The Legacy of Harpoon, a blueprint for financial warfare. Operation Harpoon marked a turning point in the fight against terror. It proved that striking at the enemy's finances could be as effective as traditional military action. The lessons learned from this daring operation continue to shape counterterrorism strategies today. As the world faces new and evolving threats, Operation Harpoon stands as a testament to the power of intelligence, innovation, and unwavering resolve in the face of evil. The year was 1984. Famine gripped Ethiopia. Thousands faced death. Among them, a secret people, Ethiopian Jews, the Beta Israel. For centuries, they dreamt of returning to Zion, the biblical land of Israel. But a vast, unforgiving desert stood between them and their dreams. Enter Mossad, Israel's legendary intelligence agency. Their mission: Operation Thunderbolt, a daring rescue operation cloaked in secrecy and fueled by courage. The stakes were incredibly high. Failure meant certain death for thousands. The Ethiopian government, hostile to Israel, forbade the Jews from leaving. Escape by land was impossible. The only option, a perilous airlift to Israel. But how could Mossad evacuate thousands from under the noses of a suspicious regime? The answer lay in deception, ingenuity, and an audacious plan that seemed ripped from the pages of a spy thriller. Mossad operatives, disguised as businessmen, infiltrated Sudan. Their mission: establish a cover so convincing it would blind the Sudanese authorities. Their tool: a luxury resort, a shimmering oasis in the desolate Red Sea coastline. The resort, a testament to meticulous planning, boasted diving lessons, windsurfing, and luxurious bungalows. The perfect escape, or so it seemed. Behind the facade of sunbathers and cocktails, a covert operation swung into action. The resort staff, hand-picked Mossad agents fluent in Arabic, played their roles to perfection. Their mission: to discreetly identify and contact the Ethiopian Jews fleeing their homeland. Under the cover of darkness, refugees were smuggled into the resort. Every night, a heart-stopping gamble played out against the backdrop of the unforgiving desert. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the real mission unfolded. Under a blanket of stars, inflatable boats ferried the Ethiopian Jews from the Sudanese coast to Israeli ships waiting miles out at sea. The journey was fraught with peril. The refugees, weakened by hunger and exhaustion, faced the constant threat of detection. The whispers of fear were silenced by the whispers of hope. Each successful extraction was a small victory against insurmountable odds. The operatives, driven by a sense of purpose and compassion, risked their lives to ferry these desperate souls to freedom. The air crackled with anticipation and anxiety as the C-130 Hercules transport planes, their bellies filled with hope, prepared to take flight. Destination Israel, the Promised Land. Section 4. The walls close, in danger in paradise. The operation, as meticulously planned as it was not without its close calls. One fateful day, a Sudanese police patrol, alerted by the unusual activity, descended upon the resort. The charade was moments away from crumbling. Quick thinking and nerves of steel saved the day. The operatives, using a mixture of charm and calculated distraction, managed to divert the patrol. But the encounter served as a chilling reminder of the ever-present danger. Each day, the risk of discovery grew. The Sudanese government, suspicious of Israel's involvement, intensified its scrutiny. The window of opportunity was closing fast. Section 5. Triumph and Tragedy, a bittersweet victory. Over 7 grueling months, Operation Thunderbolt unfolded with remarkable success. Thousands of Ethiopian Jews were flown to Israel, their ancestral home. Their arrival was met with tears of joy and emotional reunions. But the operation, a testament to human courage and compassion, was also marked by tragedy. Not all reached the Promised Land. Some perished during the arduous journey, succumbing to hunger and exhaustion. Others fell victim to the unforgiving desert, their dreams buried beneath the sands. The loss of life, a poignant reminder of the operation's human cost, cast a somber shadow over the mission's success. Yet out of the ashes of tragedy rose the indomitable spirit of hope. Section 6. Operation Thunderbolt, a legacy of courage and hope. Operation Thunderbolt stands as a powerful testament to Israel's commitment to rescuing Jews in peril, echoing the words of the ancient Hebrew scripture, "Never again." The mission, a triumph of ingenuity and unwavering resolve, showcased the lengths Mossad would go to fulfill its sacred duty. The story of Operation Thunderbolt serves as a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the light of humanity can shine through. It is a story that continues to inspire, proving that courage knows no bounds when lives are at stake. The legacy of Operation Thunderbolt lives on, not just in the annals of espionage, but in the hearts of those who were saved and those who risked everything to save them. It is a story that continues to be told and retold, a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unbreakable bond between a people and their promised land. Israel's Mossad, a name that resonates with both fear and respect across the globe. A name whispered in fear, often in the darkest corners of the world. A symbol of daring and secrecy, their operations are the stuff of legend. For decades they have operated in the shadows, protecting their nation from threats both near and far. Their missions, legendary. Their successes often unspoken, hidden from the public eye. But their failures, shrouded in secrecy, carry their own weight. These failures, though rarely discussed, are a testament to the high stakes of their operations. This is the story of one such mission. Operation Bramblebush. a mission that would test the limits of their capabilities. In 1992, the world watched as Saddam Hussein, the brutal dictator of Iraq, continued his reign of terror. His grip on power seemed unshakable. The Gulf War had ended, but the threat remained. The scars of conflict were still fresh, and the danger was far from over. Israel, determined to neutralize this danger, tasked the Mossad with a daring mission to assassinate Saddam Hussein. This mission would require unparalleled bravery and precision. Saddam Hussein, a name synonymous with brutality, his grip on Iraq was absolute, his cruelty legendary. He used chemical weapons on his own people, invaded neighboring countries, and threatened the stability of the entire region. For Israel, he represented an existential threat, a tyrant who had to be stopped. The Mossad watched Hussein closely, waiting for the right opportunity. Their intelligence pointed to a rare visit. Hussein was scheduled to attend the funeral of a close friend, a journey that would take him close to the Jordanian border. This was their chance. The plan was audacious, complex, and fraught with risk. A team of elite Mossad commandos would infiltrate Jordan. They would travel to a remote location along Hussein's route. Their weapon of choice, anti-tank missiles, powerful, accurate, and deadly. The commandos trained relentlessly, preparing for every eventuality. The pressure was immense. The fate of their nation, perhaps the entire region, rested on their shoulders. They knew the risks. Capture meant certain torture and death. Failure was not an option. Section 4, Rehearsal Disaster, a cruel twist of fate. The mission was set. The commandos were ready, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. During a final rehearsal in the Negev desert, disaster struck. Live fire was used, a simulation as real as possible. But something went wrong. An explosion ripped through the air. 2 missiles went astray, veering off course. Their target, not the intended dummy convoy, but a group of Israeli soldiers observing the exercise. 5 soldiers were killed instantly. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the Mossad. Section 5. Mission aborted, the weight of failure. The mission so meticulously planned was immediately aborted. Every detail had been considered, every contingency accounted for, yet it was all for naught. The cost was already too high. Lives had been lost, and the emotional toll was immeasurable. The loss of their comrades, their brothers in arms, was a blow from which the Mossad struggled to recover. Each fallen soldier left behind a void that could never be filled. The weight of their deaths fell heavily on the shoulders of those who planned the operation. The planners were haunted by the what-ifs and the could-have-beens. The world would never know how close Israel came to assassinating Saddam Hussein. The operation was shrouded in secrecy, its potential impact left to the imagination. The details of Operation Bramble Bush remained classified for years, a stark reminder of the human cost of espionage. The questions lingered. Could they have succeeded? What might have been different, should they have even tried? The debate continues, a testament to the enduring weight of failure and the heavy burden of lost lives. Section 6. Conclusion. The Shadow of Bramble Bush. Operation Bramble Bush stands as a stark reminder of the impossible choices intelligence agencies face. These choices often involve moral dilemmas and high stakes, where the right decision is not always clear. The line between success and failure is thin, a delicate balance that can tip either way with the slightest misstep. The consequences of both, profound. A single action can set off a chain reaction leading to unforeseen outcomes. The mission, though aborted, cast a long shadow. Its impact was felt far and wide, influencing future operations and strategies. It serves as a testament to the bravery of those who operate in the shadows, often without recognition or reward, and a sobering reminder of the price they may be called upon to pay. The sacrifices made are often hidden from public view, but they are no less significant. The world may never know the full story of Operation Bramble Bush. Many details remain classified, locked away in top-secret files, but the lessons learned from this failed mission continue to shape the world of espionage today. Training programs and operational protocols have evolved as a result. The fight against tyranny continues, a relentless struggle that spans generations and borders, but it is a fight waged in the shadows where secrecy and subterfuge are the tools of the trade. A fight where victory often comes at a terrible cost. The names on the memorial wall are a stark reminder of the human toll of these covert battles. You think you've worked dirty jobs? Try hunting down Nazis in South America. That's exactly what the Mossad had to do. Their target? Adolf Eichmann, one of the key architects of the Holocaust. This guy was directly responsible for the deportation and extermination of millions of Jews during World War II. Eichmann was a high-ranking SS officer. He was a logistics guy, but instead of moving supplies, he moved human beings. He was a cold, calculating bureaucrat. He made sure the Nazi death machine ran on time. After the war, Eichmann knew he was in deep trouble. The Allies wanted him bad, so, like many Nazis, he went into hiding. He slipped through the cracks and disappeared. He became a ghost. But some ghosts are destined to be found, and the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, was determined to find this one. They were not going to let this guy escape justice. They were coming for him. Eichmann's escape was like something out of a spy movie. He ditched the Nazi uniform and adopted the alias Ricardo Klement. He blended in with other Germans who had fled to Argentina. They were looking for a fresh start, a chance to escape their past. Eichmann settled in Buenos Aires. He lived a simple life with his wife and kids. He worked in a factory, pretending to be just another immigrant trying to make ends meet. Can you imagine the nerve of this guy? He thought he was safe in Argentina. The government there was sympathetic to Nazis. They turned a blind eye to war criminals seeking refuge. But Eichmann underestimated one thing, the long arm of justice. And the Mossad. They never forgot about Eichmann. They were like bloodhounds on a scent. They followed every lead, every whisper, every rumor. They were determined to find him no matter how long it took. Finding Eichmann was no easy task. It took years of painstaking work. The Mossad relied on a network of informants. These were people who risked their lives to bring Nazis to justice. They were motivated by a thirst for justice. One crucial tip came from a German prosecutor named Fritz Bauer. He had received a letter from a man in Argentina. The man claimed his daughter was dating a young man who boasted about his father being a Nazi war criminal. The name? Ricardo Klement. The Mossad sent a team to Buenos Aires. They had to be careful. Eichmann might have had protectors, or he might have been armed. These guys were taking their lives in their hands, but they knew the risks. They were on a mission. They staked out Eichmann's house. They watched his every move. They needed to be absolutely sure it was him. They couldn't afford to make a mistake. The world was watching. Section 4. The Hunters Close In. The Mossad agents watched Eichmann for days. They took pictures, listened to his conversations, and analyzed his every move. They were like ghosts, always present but never seen. Their training kicked in. They were pros. Finally, they were certain. Ricardo Klement was Adolf Eichmann. The monster had a face again. And now the Mossad had to figure out how to get him out of Argentina and back to Israel to face justice. This was not going to be easy. Argentina was a sovereign nation. They couldn't just waltz in and grab him. They needed a plan, and it had to be flawless. They decided to snatch Eichmann off the street. They'd drug him, smuggle him onto an El Al flight, and fly him to Israel before anyone knew what hit them. It was a risky plan, but it was their best shot. Section 5. Operation Eichmann, a daring capture. On May 11, 1960, the Mossad put their plan into action. As Eichmann got off a bus near his home, a team of agents grabbed him. They wrestled him into a waiting car, a struggle that could have blown their cover. Eichmann, caught completely off guard, was quickly subdued. They smuggled him to a safe house where they kept him under constant guard. The clock was ticking. 9 days later, disguised as an El Al crew member, Eichmann was bundled onto a plane bound for Israel. The tension on that flight must have been unbelievable. When the plane landed in Israel, the news broke. Adolf Eichmann, the architect of the Holocaust, had been captured. The world was in shock. Section 6. Justice Served. Eichmann's trial was a landmark event. It was the first time the horrors of the Holocaust were broadcast to the world. Survivors of the camps took the stand and told their stories. Their testimonies were heartbreaking. Eichmann, meanwhile, showed no remorse. He claimed he was just following orders, a defense that fell on deaf ears. The evidence against him was overwhelming. On December 15, 1961, Eichmann was found guilty of crimes against humanity. He was sentenced to death. On May 31, 1962, he was hanged at a prison near Tel Aviv. Eichmann's capture and trial sent a powerful message. You can run, but you can't hide from justice. The Mossad's daring operation served as a reminder that the pursuit of justice knows no bounds. It was a victory for the victims of the Holocaust, and a warning to would-be perpetrators of genocide. The 1972 Munich Olympics were meant to showcase a new Germany, peaceful and vibrant to the world. It was a time of celebration, unity, and athletic excellence, where nations came together to compete in the spirit of sportsmanship. Instead, the world watched in horror as Palestinian terrorists from the group Black September infiltrated the Olympic Village. The serene atmosphere of the Games was shattered by the sudden and violent intrusion. On September 5th, they took 11 Israeli athletes and coaches hostage, ultimately murdering them in cold blood. The images of the terrorists on the balcony and the helpless hostages became etched in the collective memory of the world. The Games were suspended, a nation mourned, and the world grappled with the horrifying reality of terrorism on the global stage. The Olympic spirit was tainted, and the event was forever marked by this tragedy. For Israel, the Munich massacre wasn't just a tragedy, it was a call to action. The loss was deeply personal, and the pain was felt across the entire nation. Their athletes, symbols of their nation's pride, were slaughtered. These individuals were not just competitors, they were ambassadors of hope and unity. They vowed never to let such an atrocity go unpunished. The resolve for justice was immediate and unwavering. The world mourned with Israel, but for the Israeli government and its intelligence agency, Mossad, grief quickly turned into a steely resolve for retribution. The international community expressed solidarity, but Israel knew it had to act decisively. Prime Minister Golda Meir authorized Operation Wrath of God, a covert operation with a chilling objective, to hunt down and eliminate those responsible for the Munich massacre. This mission was not just about revenge, it was about ensuring such an event would never happen again. The Munich massacre wasn't just an attack on athletes, it was an assault on the innocence of the Olympic spirit itself. The Games, meant to be a symbol of peace and unity, were now a reminder of vulnerability. It was a stark reminder that terrorism could strike anywhere, anytime. The world had to adapt, and security measures at international events were forever changed, marking a new era of vigilance and awareness. Operation Wrath of God was unlike any other mission Mossad had undertaken. It was a mission born out of a deep sense of loss and a burning desire for justice. It was a departure from traditional espionage, venturing into the murky waters of targeted killings. This was not just about gathering intelligence, it was about delivering a powerful message. It was a complex, long-term operation, requiring meticulous planning, global reach, and an unwavering commitment to delivering justice. Every detail had to be perfect, every move calculated. Mossad agents were tasked with identifying and locating every individual involved in the Munich massacre. This was a mission of retribution, a mission to honor the fallen. This involved infiltrating Palestinian organizations, turning informants, and gathering intelligence from across the globe. The agents had to be resourceful, cunning, and relentless. The stakes were incredibly high. Each operation carried the weight of national pride and the memory of those lost. Failure was not an option. The agents knew that the consequences of failure were too great to bear. The operation was shrouded in secrecy, its very existence denied by the Israeli government for years. This veil of secrecy was crucial for the mission's success. Mossad agents operated in the shadows, their actions swift and silent. They became ghosts, moving unseen and unheard. Each successful mission sent a clear message. Israel would not rest until every person involved in the Munich massacre was held accountable. Justice would be served, no matter the cost. The operation also aimed to cripple Black September and deter future terrorist attacks against Israel. It was a fight against terror, a fight for the safety of the nation. It was about sending a message. If you target our people, you will be hunted down, no matter where you seek refuge. The reach of Mossad was limitless, and their resolve unbreakable. Operation Wrath of God transformed into a global shadow war, with Mossad agents traversing continents, from the bustling streets of European capitals to the Middle East's heart. They operated under deep cover, assuming new identities, and blending seamlessly into their surroundings. These agents were masters of disguise, able to adapt to any environment, whether it was a crowded market or a quiet suburban neighborhood. Their mission was paramount. Their methods, often ruthless and controversial. They employed a range of espionage techniques, from high-tech surveillance to old-fashioned human intelligence. The operation's global reach was as impressive as it was audacious. Mossad agents tracked down targets in Lebanon, France, Italy, Cyprus, Greece, and Norway. Each location presented its own unique challenges, from navigating different legal systems to dealing with local law enforcement. They used a combination of traditional espionage tactics like surveillance and intelligence gathering, along with more unconventional methods. These included psychological warfare, cyber espionage, and even the use of double agents. The element of surprise was crucial. Targets were often eliminated with surgical precision. Shootings in broad daylight, car bombs detonated remotely, and even a bomb hidden in a telephone. These methods were designed to send a clear message: no one was beyond their reach. Each operation was carefully planned and executed to minimize collateral damage, a testament to Mossad's operational capabilities. The agents would spend weeks, sometimes months, gathering intelligence and rehearsing their plans to ensure success. Yet the operation wasn't without its setbacks and near misses. Mistaken identities and unforeseen complications added layers of complexity and risk to an already dangerous mission. There were times when agents had to abort missions at the last minute or adapt quickly to changing circumstances. The world watched as seemingly unconnected assassinations of individuals with ties to the Munich massacre unfolded. Each hit was a piece of a larger puzzle, a relentless pursuit of justice that spanned the globe and captured the world's attention.